Welcome to class. Today I'm celebrating just bringing into practice the great gratitude for all the teachers I've had who have really set me on course and taught me a lot of these poses that have benefited me so much. So let's get started in a seated position with that in mind. Close your eyes. We'll just take a few breaths here before standing up. Find a comfortable seat, that pelvic bowl tilting slightly forward, allowing for a curve in the low back, shoulders dropping away from the ears, shoulders sliding, shoulder blades glide down the back towards the floor, freeing up the neck so that we can sit a little bit taller and allow the breath to flow. Begin by witnessing the breath and close the eyes. One of the favorite breaths that I've been taught is the 3-part breath, which is to breathe into the belly first, then expand the ribs, and then feel the breath all the way up to your collarbones, all the way to the top of the chest, and of course the back of the ribs as well. And then when you exhale, feel that exhale contraction coming from the belly, and then you notice that the ribs descend and the chest. Noticing this beautiful natural rhythm that we have a version of at all times, but if we really bring consciousness into it, you can make a chemical change in the body so easily and gently by taking 3-part breath. If you happen to be somewhere today that's an extra warm day, the way to cool the breath is to breathe in through have the mouth slightly open and breathe through the teeth or through the curled tongue. But today we'll do the 3-part breath, just making that suggestion for those of you who might be warm. That is a nice way to cool off. Feel that expansion of the belly. And when you expand the ribs, make sure that's a 360-degree direction for those ribs. Front, back, sides, and then all the way up to the collarbones. What I love about 3-part breath is that it massages the body from within, from that expansion and contraction of breath, especially all the way up to those shoulders and trapezius muscles on the sides of the neck. And I thank Harvey for teaching me this breath. As you breathe, try to bring into your third eye an acknowledgement of a teacher that you've had of any skill or discipline in your life that you really brought forward with you. And take a moment of acknowledgement there. Maybe it's a teacher from a very young age, or an advisor, whether it's in school or through a discipline, movement, or maybe it's not even a human, maybe it's an animal being who taught you a lot. Let's take our hands over the heart, just taking the thumbs together, bringing that vision into the heart. Feel the press of the hands. And as you take that 3-part breath, notice you can really expand that 3rd part of the breath into the hands so that the heart expands as well. And exhale, feel that breath in your hands. Keep those beautiful things in mind as we flutter the eyes open and allow the hands to drop to the thighs. And now just bring those knees together, and we're going to come up to standing on the middle of the mat, so you can move your props aside and grab a strap on your way up. You can come through all fours, Curl the toes under, and then just keeping the knees bent, walk the feet towards the hands and come on up slowly with the knees bent to prevent dizziness. So standing here, you can actually, if you can take that strap to the side for a moment, we'll just take our mountain pose, our meditation and mountain pose. So let's focus on all four corners of our feet. And Samantha, another teacher, taught me the four corners of the feet, which is the big toe mound, the little toe mound, the inner heel and the outer heel. And if you stand in mountain and you notice that you're on the outside or the inside of the feet, just in your awareness, bring that to your attention. And if you pronate, if you're going to the outside, then see if you can just bring that focus to the inner heel a little bit more and bring that awareness into the center. If you feel that you go inward, then see if you can bring that awareness to the outer heel and that outer big toe mound. Sorry, the little toe mound. It may be little, but it plays a big role. So let's bring that awareness to the feet, spread the toes, and really expand outward. A redwood tree is an example of a tree that has shallow roots, and they go outward and they really expand that base in an outward direction. So see if you can imagine, just bring that into mind as you take those feet and spread them out. So you really expand the roots, and then bring an imaginary block in your mind in between the thighs so we can bring that magnetizing energy into the center. You'll already feel the glutes engage as you bring those muscles together, and then drop the tailbone towards the floor, gently descending, feeling the wake up of our lower core. And then we have someone coming in the room there. We have arms draping down, but then let's open the palms to the sky. See if you can take the low ribs and tuck them in slightly. So we're getting more of that deeper core engagement. Open up the hands, the palms to the front of your room so that you can feel that broadness across the collarbones. Inhale. Exhale. As you exhale, the palms come towards the body, and then we've got that expansion in the top of the body while the palms come inwards. So we've already opened that up, and then tuck the chin slightly towards the back of the room so you can feel that back of the skull and alignment of the skull with the sacrum. And now ease it all out by bringing the shoulders up to the ears on an inhale. And then on an exhale, allowing the shoulders staying in line with those ears to just drop away. Free up the neck. You might already feel those vertebrae freeing up at the top of the skull and at the top of the spine. Inhale the arms up to the sky. And just feel the side bodies reaching. Beautiful. Exhale the arms down, wingspan. Bring down. Let's take that strap. So another favorite pose taught to me by my teacher, Samantha, who was loving to get right into the shoulders in the beginning of class. So we can hold that strap as wide as you'd like. In fact, take it pretty wide to begin with. And as you take the strap, you're feeling that tension between the hands, a gentle tension that's keeping those shoulders awake and aligned. So the shoulders are still rolling away from the ears, and we're gluing those shoulder blades to the back. Inhale, your arms up as you keep a nice wide hold between the hands. And then see if your arms can reach back to begin with, but not too far back, and then bring it forward. All the while, keep that skull and sacrum aligned, keep nice magnetization between your legs there to keep a nice strong mountain pose. Inhale as you reach up, that 3-part inhale and 3-part exhale as you come down. And we're kind of flossing our shoulder sockets there, just exploring the expansion of the shoulders. And keeping an awareness and connection between the hands so we have controlled movement. If you feel like taking your hands closer together as you explore this, you can do that. One more time, inhale. And then back, we'll take the strap behind us, take that same tension between the hands behind you at the base of the spine, just behind the glutes, and lift up towards the sky. Exhale it down. All the while, keeping that connection with your feet rooted on the ground, your legs connected together, keeping that base very strong as we expand through that mid and upper back. Lifting up and then down towards the glutes again. And explore the tension between the hands as you do this. Keep it a gentle exploration. Notice as you lift up, you're increasing the capacity to breathe into that front body, into the chest. And then maybe lengthen that exhale because you're expanding that inhale. Beautiful. Now take the strap in front of you and we'll take it up above us, above the head, and then take a nice side bend here. So holding that strap, keeping that connection between the hands, we're going to lean over to the right and feel that nice, gentle, gravitational, and also pull from your right hand as you go down and then back up, float up, and then exhale over to the other side. And then where's your right foot right now as we lean over to the left? Feel that connection to your right foot as your root, soft knees, and then over to the other side. And then up, hold it up, continue to hold up with your right hand, maybe come up a little higher, let go of the left hand, bend the right elbow, and hang the strap down the middle of the back. And then take your left hand out to the side, fold it in, see if you can bring that hand down to the strap. And you'll feel on that right hand, on that right upper lower arm, you'll feel the back of the skull gently touching to give you that awareness. At the bottom, you've got that sacrum at the base of the spine and the skull. So this is just a great way to align as if there were a wall behind you supporting you, that gentle touch of the hands, sensational awareness. Inhale, really reach up towards the sky energetically as you point the tailbone down. So we're reaching away from the midline of the rib cage and exhale down. Inhale up, one more time, exhale down. And holding between the hands, we'll see if we can lean over slightly to our left. So extra breath into that right rib cage. And then reach back up. And right hand reaches up, switches out, shake out that right hand. We'll lift the strap up with the left hand, bend the left elbow, strap goes down the middle of the back, right arm comes out, wingspan, and then grab that bottom of the strap with your right hand. There we go. Feel the connection there. Again, we don't have to over flex our shoulders. We just have to explore along the strap. Feel that line down the spine, echoing the center of our vertical space. Crown of the head reaching up. Inhale. Let's feel that pull between a gentle pull as the tailbone drops and the crown of the head and that elbow reach up towards the sky. 3-part breath. Exhale it out. Let's magnetize them together. So one more time. Inhale. Exhale. And then lean over to the right. Extra inhale into that left rib cage. Those intercostal muscles that support the breath on the ribs on the left, get a little stretch. And then come on up, release the strap, feel what you've created there as you roll the shoulders behind you. And then forward, more glide, more opening. Great. So before we go down to the floor again, we're just going to explore some gravitating into the center and away from the center of the body. We're going to explore half moon pose today since there was a half moon this week. We're just exploring that right and left. So let's stand in mountain pose, and then we're going to take that magnetization of our legs and the pelvis away from the center. So we're taking the legs out to the side and opening the arms out to the side, star style. And then since we're taking half moon later, we're just going to practice fortifying that right side as we come off the left toes and lean over on the weight onto the right and explore the balance here, keeping your left foot nice and active. Inhale with a big breath, just invite everything into your arms and legs into that center. And then we're going to come down with the left foot and step inward. Change the weight onto the left and just lift that right knee up. So we're just shifting the weight here, lifting the right knee up into a right angle, feeling that balance on the left side and glute engaged on the left, your arms however you want. We're just really doing a loose exploration to begin with. Come down to mountain, and then we'll take that star to the other side, expand the legs out, arms out, and do the lean over to the left, keeping the right foot active. Reaching out maybe an extra half inch away from your normal expansion as you inhale. Invite the breath in. Exhale. Find that root again back. Bring everything together. And then we'll change the weight onto the right and lift the left knee up. Exploring the balance there and the weight shift there. Great job. Come back to mountain. Feel it all pulling together. Here, take a breath and really notice the pause of your breath as you inhale. Let's take the arms up. Prayer position above the head. Pause in your breath here. And exhale. Bring that prayer position past our third eye. Bringing to mind again some amazing teachers in our lives. Back down the throat to the heart. Inhale, exhale. Let's walk to the base of our mat. And we're going to come down towards the mat. Inhale, expand the arms, look up at your palms at your prayer position above the head, and then swan dive yourself forward, wingspan, bend the knees since we're early in the practice. Bend those knees as if you're sitting in a chair behind you. Bring the hands to the mat. Walk yourself forward into our tabletop. You want to cushion the knees. So let's grab that blanket, cushion the knees, and take the shins to the blanket and the kneecaps spilling over the edge of the blanket. Nice and kind. Great. So we're going to take a lovely flow that was taught to me by Cassandra, who's a wonderful teacher. So we're going to come into our tabletop, find the neutral spine, skull to sacrum alignment, crown of the head in that horizontal plane. We're still going to take a nice big expansive breath, but in that horizontal direction. Inhale into the belly and the ribs, all the way up to the chest. And then the contraction. Feel that navel reaching towards the spine, those intercostals reaching towards the center, and then breath out. Great. Now take those shoulders away from the ears and take that imaginary magazine under your armpits and just squeeze down so that your shoulders are activated. Cat cow here. We're going to come up into a cat. So we're going to take the tailbone towards the floor, lift the back of the ribs up towards the sky. Exhale, look down at your knees, and your just head is in full participation here at the top of the spine, dropping down. So we're taking a slight inversion here as we reach the back of the ribs up. And our exhale, we're going to sit back into child's pose. If you choose not to go to child's pose, you can just not go down as far if you don't like that flexion in the knees. And touch down here. And we're going to flow back up through cat. And as we come forward, we'll walk the hands forward into a knee plank. So our knees are going to be draping off of that blanket, and we're going to take that spine in alignment, take those shoulders nice and aligned, and squeezing down the armpits there, and then curling back through cat in a flow here. So don't go down as far if those knees don't like the flexion, or if you want to take full hips to heels, touch down, inhale back up, flow it up into our strong plank. When you reach your plank here, we're going to take those lizard push-ups. So just bend the elbows towards the ribs. You're going to come slightly down, keeping that gaze about a few inches ahead of you, and then back up. One more or two more of those lizard push-ups. And strengthening our arms. Now curl back into cat. Come down. Flow it back up right away into the cat, so we can feel that undulation in the spine as we come forward to knee plank, just a still knee plank here, and then back again. Let's explore this time as we curl up through cat on your breath. Inhale, come forward into knee plank. So align that spine. And now we're going to bend the elbows as if we're doing lizard push-ups, and just drop the pelvis towards the floor and open up the heart to the front. So we're taking an upward high cobra. Take those shoulders, roll them back, down away from the ears, look up, and then we're going to curl up through cat again, back. So this is a flow, undulation through the spine. Inhale, cat. That wave action. Beautiful how our spines can echo the ocean wave. Now bend the elbows slightly, bring the pelvis down. If dropping that pelvis and that tailbone towards the heels is hurting your low back, don't go down as far, just curl up through the heart and the gaze, and then curl in. So you don't have to go super extreme here. No pinching, no discomfort, just feel the flow. Feel that heart really expand and look forward with your heart eyes. Beautiful. Come down to child's, or if you want to roll on your back and hug the knees, you can do that here. Find release on your back or in child's. Feel the forehead on the mat and our third eye release whatever stress you need to release out of your thoughts here. Feel the back body expand. And as you exhale, roll the forehead side to side. And as you roll that forehead to side, you'll notice that the spine echoes that rolling. So we're getting a side to side rolling with the spine as well. See if that can reverberate down the spine to the tailbone. If you're on your back, you can roll side to side and feel a similar action on the spine. Should feel really good. And bring the forehead down. Inhale again. Exhale, feel the release. Take the palms up towards the sky so that we can really feel that opening across the shoulders. Beautiful. Imagine something amazing coming into your hands. And then place the palms down, curl up through cat. Now we're going to continue that wave action, but we're going to bring the right foot forward in between the hands. Feel free to help your ankle along the way. Again, the base in the back leg is your shin and the top of the foot on the mat, not your knee. Come forward into a low lunge here, taking the fingertips to the mat and pulling back towards your back mat. You're really going to feel that space in the vertebrae there. And then let's curl up into a crescent moon, taking the hands to the thighs. And we're going to Take that tailbone drop. Feel the weight of the hips dropping to the floor as you inhale the arms up to the sky, pressing the palms together. Salute the sky, look up. 3-part breath here. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, long wingspan out, and then hands around that front foot. We'll take a twist here. Take the left hand down, open up the heart towards the right knee, and open up that right arm out to up to the sky. We've expanded our collarbone, so really reach along right and left there. And then come back down. So now we're going to do another hamstring stretch. So come on to that back shin, and take your right leg forward straight. So you might have to come up to the high kneel on you can look up here if you're confused. I'm up on my right shin there, and I have my right foot forward. This is Hanuman prep. So we're going to pump the foot. You can stay here with the hands on the hips, and that's a little bit of a balance there. Pump that right foot back and forth. Samantha, this is one of her favorite poses, so I'm honoring her with this. Hanuman prep. And then bring that foot to the floor on the right side. Maintain that magnetization towards the center, and bring your right leg in. All the while protecting that knee by making sure it's not touching the floor. Let's come back to the tabletop. Slide back to child's for a moment. Curl up through cat. And we're going to change that wave to the other side. So the left foot is going to come forward between the hands. Back shin is your anchor, and the top foot pressing into the mat. Top of the back foot. Inhale, hands to thigh. Feel that drop of the hips and your tailbone pointing down. Inhale, arms up, prayer position. Can you feel the connection between your 2 feet here? Bringing it into the center. Look up at the sky. Exhale. Swan dive around the front foot. And then hinging back on your hips. Let's see if we can find that Hanuman prep here. Take the hands to the hips. Just find balance here. You're on your right shin, and your left foot is forward in that hamstring stretch, and we're just going to pump the foot, activating our hamstring as well as our core. And then keeping that balance, we're going to take that left foot to the floor, find that balance, and then come back to the center on a high kneel. On those shins, take the hands to the base of the spine, fingertips pointing towards the glutes. Guide the energy downward with your hands. So just guide the energy of the lower back down towards the floor, elbows behind you. So already feel an expansion across the chest as you do that. Inhale into the belly, the ribs and the chest. Exhale, drop the energy down. And then look up with the eyes of your heart. And then look up with those eyes. And see if you can curl up through the neck. Nice and easy. Camel pose. And then come on back up to vertical, hands on the hips. Find that plumb line down the middle of the body. Exhale. Take the hands to the lower back. We'll do another camel just to get that nice arch in the spine. Elbows behind you. And even if you just press down, that's fine. Or look up with the heart, sternum up towards the sky, and then the eyes. Inhale. Exhale. Beautiful. Back to center. And then we'll come to a seated pose as we began. So any seat that's comfortable for you, whether you're kneeling or sitting cross-legged, find your customized practice here. Taking some beautiful neck sequence from seated position. Find the anchor of the sits bones. Great. Take your hands underneath the thighs and just lift up so you can find those sits bones. And then that tall spine, fingertips to the floor. Inhale up. So you feel that height in the spine. Exhale, feel the roots. Long roots through the fingertips. Beautiful. Now we'll look over to the right. Look over to the left. Look to the center. Gaze up at the sky. And then we're going to bring the chin deep into that jugular notch. Gazing at the heart, expanding through the back of the neck, keeping the heart tall. Floating the head up. Exhale, right ear to right shoulder. Feeling that flow of all the capacity of our neck to expand, but not forcing, just softening. Press to your left fingertips. And then take the right palm to the sky and then reach to your left ear with your right hand. Press into your right hand and your ear into the right hand and then release. Just activating that side. Press again. Exhale, release. And then bring that right hand down again. Release the left hand from the floor, pointing the fingertips actively. Take little circles in either direction. So keeping this flowing energy in the spine, take the right hand, support that rising up of the head, really rising up towards the sky. Exhale, left ear to left shoulder, pressing down through the right fingertips. Feel the tendrils and the roots there. Beautiful. Inhale the left palm to the sky, left hand to right ear. Gentle press of your ear into your hand. And let go. Press again. And let go. Left hand finds the floor. And then we release the right hand, but keep those fingers active. And then circle behind you. Circle in front of you. Beautiful. And then touch down. Left hand helps the head up. Ah, so nice. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Take the thumbs to the elbow creases and take your fingertips to those upper arms on either side and really use that leverage. Pull up, grow out of that pelvis. Smooth out anything, the fabric on the side bodies and lift up towards the sky, crown of the head reaching up, and then we'll lean over to the right, leaning over to the left. And then reaching up, we'll take the clasped hands at the base of the skull. We'll do our butterfly elbows here, looking up at the sky. Exhale, bring our elbows together and curl the spine forward, cat style. Open up again with your breath. And up. And close. And one more time. Beautiful. Let's take our isometric with our neck just to make sure. This is in my new favorite, is to take your right hand to your right ear and just press into your right hand, hand into the head, opposite pressure, gentle. Other side, left hand to left ear. Press hand into ear, ear into hand. Take index and middle to the chin, press back and press forward. So both directions, isometric pressure. Take the hands to the back of the skull. So above that occipital ridge, press into your hands and hands into skull. And then take one hand to the right cheek and as if you're not going to turn over towards your right shoulder, just look over, feel that counter pressure. Other side, left hand to left cheek. We're turning towards the left, but your hand's not letting you. Beautiful. Now release those shoulders down. Feel that freedom. Here we go. Take Ganesh pose. So we're taking the right hand on top of left into the middle. Fingers come together. So we're hooking the fingers together. Hold your own hand. And from here, we'll take a twist. So we feel that center, that line down the center of the body, turn on that axis over to the right, feeling the ribs really drive this and our chin. And then we look over our right shoulder. Come back to the center. Begin to turn the ribs. You can even look forward and then look away towards that left shoulder. Try this again to the other side. And other side. And then come back to center, flip the hands so that the left is on top. Hook the hands together, take that same path. Twist. Here we go. And then release the wrists, turn our faucets, royal wave. Hallelujah for our teachers. Great. Sweep those arms down. We're going to come up into our standing sequence again. So move that blanket aside. Come up through down dog. So take those root of your hands, index finger pointing forward, curl the toes under, lift the knees off the mat. Feel another hamstring stretch here as you tiptoe up, bend the knees, bring the ribs to the thighs, and then allow the heels to float down all four corners of the feet. If the heels don't touch, you can slightly bend your knees and see what that feels like. And you can straighten the legs, just feel that back of body expansion, inhaling and exhaling. Let's walk the hands to the feet, bend the knees if you need to, or take straight legs, hanging our head down. Beautiful. And then take the hands to the top of the thighs, really guide those thighs inward towards the inner thighs as you hinge up at the hips, flat back, up to standing, micro bend those knees. Beautiful. Now come to the middle of the mat. Inhale, exhale. We're going to take our prep pose to half moon before we get into half moon. So come out to our wide stance, take the right toes out to the side, right heel angled with our back arch on the left foot angled out 45 degrees or so. Now this is, it's an art, not a science. So whatever your body, that angle on your foot feels good. Take the hands to the hips. So with half moon and our side angle, we're angling those hips towards the front. We don't want to force them. Just our general orientation is towards the front. Hands on hips, feel those hip points pointing forward. Inhale, exhale, bend the right knee. And as you are bending the right knee, you'll have to guide that back foot into our side angle pose, but watch that knee as we're coming into the pose so that it stays between the middle two toes. Find your place here as you drop the hips, pointing the tailbone. See if you can just lift the toes off the mat and then place them on the mat. Lift them up and then place them on the mat on the right side. And then lift the heels slightly and then place it down. So you really find that full foundation of your foot. That's really important in our base for getting to half moon. And then here we want to not forget that back foot too. So feel all of that expansion through the back foot and our nice balanced inhale as you bring them together. Exhale, that strength along the legs. And we're going to lean over to the right. Take the right elbow to the right thigh. And the tailbone points towards that left heel. Inhale the left arm up and reach. Really feel from the hips, from the sides of the thighs. You're really reaching for that expansion on the left side. Now take your gaze down to your right toes. Turn the head. And then gaze forward. So we're practicing changing our gaze. Kind of a little prep for our balances. And then sweep the left hand to the left hip. Look down at your toes and come on up and straighten your right knee. Bring the toes forward into parallel just to give them a little break here. Good. Now let's take side angle to the other side, just so we can make sure we get our right and left balance. So let's take the toes out to the other side, heel to arch angles, hands on hips, look down as you bend the knee. On the left side, adjust your back foot, lift the toes of the left toes off the mat, place them down, and then lift them up again, place them down, and then lift the heels slightly up, and then down, up, and then down. Find your strong base. Change the gaze forward. Inhale, exhale onto the left elbow, to the thigh. Inhale the right arm up and reach. Feet come together, energetic, bringing us into that beautiful base of the center, the pelvis. Expand on the right side. And then look down and then look up. Practice involving the top of the spine here. Beautiful. Sweep the right arm up. Come on up. Bring the gaze forward, feet to parallel. So we're going to take that same base as we enter half moon. Feel free to take anything in your area that you want to use for balance, or just see if you can play with this. So we're going to come through half moon as if there's a wall behind you. So as if there's a beautiful supportive wall and we're on that plane, still keeping those hips in the same plane. And we're going to tiptoe forward, keep micro bending that right knee as if we were kind of bending toward right angle, but we're going to tiptoe the left toes towards the right side as we straighten that out. And just with our left toes touching down, we're going to look down at the floor and then up. So we're just doing that same turn of the head. And now keeping that gaze forward, find a still point in your distance. And then see if you can come off that left foot and flex the foot so it's nice and active. And then hinge towards that right side. This is super challenging. If you feel like that right foot wants to turn in a bit, that's okay. Well, the important part is keeping your knee aligned with the toes. Try that here. See if you're going to expand the arms out. Star style, expand across the collarbones. Inhale, and touch down on the couch there just for extra support. And exhale, micro bend that right knee as you come down. Make sure to micro bend the knee on our descent. Come over to the other side. And we're going to watch that knee bend towards the toes. Tiptoe the right toes over. Imagine that wall behind you supporting you. Change the gaze here as you have your balance with the right toes. Then bring the gaze forward, hands on the hips, and really reach through your spine as you let go of that right side flexing your right foot. Play with the balance. Strengthening through the glutes, and see if you can expand those arms outward. If you falter, that's all part of finding the practice. That's practice, not perfect, right? That's the way it goes. And micro bend your left knee as you come down. If you'd like to try it on the other side with a block, this is yet another step in this pose. Don't feel like you have to, but we'll try this on the right side, reaching with a block this time. And then coming out into our expression with that left toes reached up, and see if you can reach that block towards the floor. If not, it's okay. Gaze forward. Half moon, imagining that support behind the body. Micro bend that knee as you come down and reach that left foot over. Play with it on the other side. If you have a block, we just take it on the left hand, align those toes, play with that gaze, come over to the left, gaze forward, and the lean over to the left. If you want to reach that block to the floor, keeping our gaze steady, play here. Once you get down to the block, it's a little bit easier to get that anchor from here. When you come out, hand to that top hip and micro bend the standing leg. Come out. Hopefully you've gotten a little warmth going there. Take the block to the side. Inhale the arms up to the sky in our wide stance. And now let's fly ourselves down to the floor, flat back. Now that we've saluted that half moon, reach the arms out, downward dog style. So we're just going to really reach out, plant the palms, and allow the head to drop. So you're looking between the feet. Inhale into your back body. Exhale, squeeze that air out. Nice. Come forward on the hands so you can bring the feet together. And then come down on the shins and hips down, and we'll come onto the back for bridging. Take the hands to the thighs as you come down and curl down, trying to keep that core awake as we come down to the floor. Take the hands to the back of the skull and melt yourself back onto the floor. Beautiful. Great. So now we'll take some balancing with our with our bridge. Take the arms next to the body. Feel the palms reach up towards the sky. So we really, as we breathe into the belly and the ribs and the chest, you can feel the lift up of your sternum. And then as you breathe, exhale, you'll feel the shoulders roll away from the center, unrounding the back. That is probably one of my favorite discoveries of yoga, was how to unround my back. Beautiful. Anyway, take the full arms onto the mat, lift the hips up. Let's bridge up. Squeeze that energy of the legs together while keeping them hip width apart. Activate your glutes, pressing through the feet and bringing the sternum towards the chin. One of my teachers used to say, the sternum wants to marry the chin, but the chin will never have it. So, but always reach for it. And then the arms up towards the sky, hug the cloud, and then reach the arms next to the ears, knees to fingertips. Sweep the arms up again, elbows down, and then the full length of our arms on the mat. So as you press the arms into the mat, you've got another anchor here as you take your right leg and straighten it out. So you're going to feel that left side really wake up and then bring the foot down. And then we're going to take the left foot and gently kick it out to straighten and then down. Single leg bridges, bridge over troubled water. And then walk it back, take the right side again and the left. So we're alternating, straightening the leg. Noticing how even you can keep the hips as you shift the weight from each foot. Lift up again and with the 2 feet on the mat. If you need to take a break, that's fine. One more kick out on either side. And see how close we can, as we look up, bring the sternum towards the chin, and then curl yourself down, bone by bone, down to the mat. Leave a curve lifting on the lower back, and then bring our sacrum down. Grab the block so we can take a spa bridge. Inhale, lift the hips up, and allow the sternum, the sacrum to come down onto the block. Notice the gravitational force, just allowing that sacrum to come down onto the block and release the lower back muscles. Palms to the sky. Take one leg long on the mat and then the other. A lovely lengthening here of our longer muscles. Inhale, the arms next to the ears. Pure luxury. Spa for the hips. Inhale, exhale. Let's take the feet to the floor and then briefly take our soles of the feet together, open the knees out to the side with the sacrum on the block. You can even rock side to side here. And then the arms come next to the body, palms up. So we're really in this lovely receiving pose here. Melting the effort towards our warm earth. Take the hands to the sides of the thighs, help them back up. Lift the hips up and then snake your spine back down again. Take the knees together and we'll take a twist here for the whole body. Take the feet out a little bit further towards the edges of the mat and trace a line with your right knee down the left shin towards the left foot. And then back up and then down. On the other side, left knee traces, right shin. Beautiful. So these are a version of windshield wiper legs. And then take the thumbs to the elbow creases. Let's raise those hands above the head so we're really feeling the lengthening of our side body as we windshield wiper the legs. Great. Bringing those upper arms above the eyes. Let's take those elbows in the opposite direction of the legs. Find that 3-part breath. What extra little things can you squeeze out through your exhale, just releasing and letting go? Take the head side to side to match the legs. And then let's take the eyes and follow the elbows. a journey for the whole spine to communicate to the whole body and our nervous system. Beautiful. Come back, knees together. Drape the arms next to the body, full weight in the arms, just a full weight. And then legs out to the side. Take the heels to the floor and just lift the hips up and then down, allowing that weight to drop through the legs towards the center. And then feeling the thighs into the center so they're gravitating together. Let's flop the feet out to the side. So there's still an energy, those top of the legs coming together and inwardly spiraling, but the feet go out and release. Feel the melting of the back body into the earth. Release through the breath, 3-part breath, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale. Travel with the breath wherever you'd like to. Calm thoughts, peaceful thoughts. And if there are thoughts that you would rather think later, just watch them float by for the moment. Our mini meditation here is to imagine the body being light as a feather, lifting you up off the mat, so light you could float along like a cloud. And then imagine the body being so heavy, you're melting so heavy into the earth. And then so light that you're floating again. And then so heavy, your bones are like lead. Again, float up. Lighter than air, lighter as a feather, even your bones. And exhale heavy again. Release through the exhale. And now find a balancing energy between that lightness and between that heaviness that puts you right at the center. Knowing that at any point with our harmonizing mind, body, and spirit, we can bring ourselves into that balance wherever we are. Inhale. And exhale, wiggle the fingers and the toes. And your elbows and knees. Roll onto your right side. Find yourself up to a seated position using your hands to help you up. And your head is the last to rise. As we take the hands over the heart, just feeling that breath in our hands, bringing all of the learning that we've absorbed in our lives into our heart, and ever gratitude for those who have taught us and guided us wherever they are. Inhale the arms up to the sky, prayer position, down through that center. Third eye, down to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. Namaste.